So, happy Father's Day.
Yeah, happy Father's Day.
So we had the classic Maryland Father's Day, where we got a bushel of crabs and hung out with family and ate Maryland crabs, the best thing ever. Though you don't agree.
No, yeah. Best thing for you guys. I don't partake.
Yeah, because you don't like them.
No, I've tried many times over the years. I can't get into them.
Yeah.
So that makes me not a real Marylander.
Yeah, those of you that don't live around here, you are missing out. You don't even know. Old Bay, amazing.
Old Bay, I'll still put down anything.
Yeah. Just not crabs.
It's not crabs.
Blue crabs. Yeah. Get those Old Bay goldfish.
I have not tried those yet. That sounds good, though.
They are tasty.
You know, I don't really like the chips, though.
Well,
Old Bay potato chips? Yeah, they're all right.
Well, there's a couple different iterations of them.
They've done more?
A couple people different different people make them differently.
Yeah.
I mean, there's the Old Bay official ones, but other people like, or the Chesapeake, whatever.
Oh, yeah.
So, but there's like a couple different. Well, what was really good. Have you had the cheese puffs? Old Bay cheese puffs.
No, those look good though.
Yeah, that's good because same kind of like it's like the cheese and then like that spice added to it.
Yeah, that sounds good.
It's good.
So that and the goldfish, yeah, those are good. Good choices.
Hey, welcome back to Screen Time TV podcast, where we discuss the latest streaming shows, and currently discussing Andor season 2. But before we get into that, we will talk a little bit about what we've been watching, and then everyone's favorite game show, internet game show, podcast game show, Based or Waste.
Yeah, that's right.
So, Jared.
Yes.
Welcome to the rebellion.
Thank you.
Yeah. So, those of you who don't know us, I'm Josh, and this is my co-host, Jared.
Who are you? That's all.
Yep.
Just who are you?
Yeah. Yeah, that's it. Who are you?
Yeah, I guess you gotta
get like.
But it's a
moment.
It's a big moment. Yeah. Also, rebellions are built on hope.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
Which I decided not to go with that one since yours is so
Rebellion.
similar.
Yeah. But I just like that, like when Mom Martha's like so like kind of like out of sorts and and then he's just like, welcome to the rebellion.
That was awesome. Yeah. Great moment.
Cool. Well, let's start with what we've been watching. So my list is finally not as because I'm not traveling.
Right.
So I've only got 2 things on here.
Okay.
One I know is we've got in common because we saw the movie together, but
I got 1.5.
You got something else?
Just a little small thing besides the one. Yeah.
So the other thing I just mentioned was Jenny and Georgia season 3 on Netflix.
I forgot you watched this show.
Yeah.
Man, season 3. You're in it deep.
Season 3. It started. Okay. Yeah. It's fun. It's good.
What is it about?
So it's about a lady, Georgia, who is kind of a little bit of a scam con artist, a little bit.
Oh.
And then she got pregnant young. So then she,
but it's always like not the, I was getting mixed up with one of the many spinoffs of Big Bang or Young Sheldon.
No, this is not that.
Okay. Yeah. I don't know why I was thinking of something like that.
No, this is, so she always does this, but it's like, but it's almost like the things she's done is either to protect her kids or like, because the guys are not good, that she ends up like being around. So it's like, she doesn't come across as like the bad person, she's the main character, but like she has done these small like scamming of like certain people and she kind of like goes from place to place. So like we're caught where we get introduced to her. She is, somewhere in think in Massachusetts somewhere, a small town in Massachusetts where she ends up. And of course she's got the teenage daughter and then a son that's like, I don't know, he's 8 or something, the teenage daughter is like half black, half white. So it's obvious that like, and then the son's all white. So like, it's obvious they were from the same dad, and yet you don't really know much of the backstory. And of course they start filling some of that in, but this is like, hey, a new start for them. But you quickly learn that they've done this multiple times, going to different places. And so it's kind of that. But so you get a little bit of the teen drama because the daughter's in high school and her friends and her love interests and all that stuff that's mixed in there. But then there's like the adult drama, like, so those normal shows that have that little bit of mix. But then at the adult drama level, there's like all the backstory baggage. If like, and then slowly you learn things and people pop up and you find out, not spoilers, but like you find out like she technically kind of even murdered some guys, but like has good reason to, like in a general sense. Like obviously I would never really condone murder, but like, you get what like, so it's like, I don't know, just, so it's interesting and it's, it's fun. It's one of those, it's like done decently in that way. And, but anyway, it's on Netflix. Season 3 dropped out in the last week or 2 weeks ago, I think.
Okay.
And, watched a little bit of it, still pretty fun for that type of stuff. And
okay. Not my kind of show.
No. So what's your little half before we get into the...
I want to talk about the Alien Earth trailer because I
didn't watch this yet.
Oh man. Okay. So I've been looking forward to this for a long time. This is like long in development, and I love the Alien franchise. I love the lore around Alien, especially. That's why I really like even the prequels, which a lot of people don't like, Prometheus and all that, but I think I think it's awesome.
Especially the first one.
Yeah, Prometheus was
liked it.
Yeah. And man, I just wanted to mention it because this trailer looks so good. And looks, I think it's going to be great.
Mm-hmm. So what's his name that did Fargo TV series?
Yeah, so that's another reason why I'm like, okay, he also did Legion.
Yeah, so
which both were really good. So
no,
that's Noah Hawley. Yeah,
Noah Hawley.
So so that's another reason why I'm like, okay, I think it'll be good. Mm-hmm. But visually was the main thing. I was like, how big are they going to make this? Like how, like budget wise, and it is FX, so I knew they're gonna have to have some kind of budget with it. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it looks amazing. Like I was surprised how good it looks. And even the little bit they show you of the different species and xenomorphs look really, really good. Looks like a lot of practical, but even the CG looks really good. So I just want to talk about it because I'm very much looking forward to it. It's the beginning of August, I think, is when it comes out. So
cool.
So it's like now my most anticipated show of the year.
I'll have to watch the trailer. Yeah,
you should. Yeah,
I didn't get around to watch it, but
it looks amazing.
It's funny. The lore. I mean, Prometheus, when you see the giant like person in the the shell, like something about it like reminds me even like the lore in Metroid Prime.
Yeah, it's kind of similar.
It has some similar, like just kind of like, ancient civilization. It's like a little, I don't know, just like space civilization.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, all this stuff is really cool.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
And even the this show is going to get into more, which I always think is interesting, is like the big corporations that are attached to it too. Which they said in the show there's like 4, but the main one's Weyland-Yutani, which is what they always talk about in the movies. Mm-hmm. So obviously that's one, but I didn't know there was others. So I think that'll be interesting too, getting more into that side of things too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
So that's one. I don't know what else is coming out around that time, but that's one I'm going to definitely suggest we should cover.
Oh.
But we'll see. I don't know. There might be a lot in August, but I don't know.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, then the other thing we have that we both watched.
Yes.
Ballerina. Mm-hmm. From the John Wick universe.
That's the full name of it.
Or something like that.
Yeah, they changed the name of it. I don't know why.
It's still IMDb. It's just Ballerina.
Okay.
So,
all right. Good.
An assassin trained in the traditions of the Ruskarama organization sets out to seek revenge after her father's death.
Yeah.
So, what do you think of this movie? We didn't really talk too much after because we kind of split.
No, well, we had to go. I mean, well, at least I had to. I had to go right afterwards. But, well, what did you think of it? Why don't you go?
All right. I thought it was a lot of fun. I mean, like, the plot's pretty predictable, but that doesn't really matter in John Wick films in general. I thought it was, I think it was some really good action scenes. I think some really cool stuff that, again, like they always do a good job of like doing something kind of feel like you've not seen before.
Yeah. Definitely.
We can talk about a couple things specific once you share. I think all in all, I enjoyed it. I think it's I'll say it. I thought it was better action scenes than Mission Impossible.
Well, yeah,
and yeah.
So,
so if you're looking for a good action movie, I guess see this over Mission Impossible.
Yeah,
and I think props to Ana de Armas. Like, looked like she did a lot of those, just like Keanu Reeves does. For like, I mean, looks like she's there, like doing these moves. And,
it does, yeah.
I mean, I'm sure there are stunt doubles doing parts of it, but she's doing a lot more than the average, and like that takes a lot of work and training to do that.
Yeah, it definitely looked like she did a lot of
legitimacy that you don't get otherwise. So
that's a good part of it. Yeah. I think she did great in this. You definitely, like you said, you can definitely tell she trained a lot, just like Keanu Reeves had to. I would say overall, definitely not as good as the John Wick movies, in my opinion, but yeah, I still liked it. Very predictable. I mean, there's not like crazy plot to the John Wick movies either, although as they go, speaking of kind of like world building and lore, they get way more into that in the later John Wicks, which I think is really cool. And all that stuff that they do with that is awesome. So I hope they continue with that. They didn't do too much of that in this, really.
No.
But so the beginning, though, especially to your point, it's like the very beginning. Mm-hmm. So spoiler for the very beginning, but it's like immediately like, of course her dad's gonna die. Like, it's like that whole thing was just So like that, it's like, do we really need this scene like to make it more impactful? Because it's like
well, again, the setup so who did it.
Sure. Okay.
I think why they did that scene. Otherwise, you could have just started with her and like learn that someone killed her father, and it would work. But
I do think that I feel like they should have done a little more of her training. Would have been sick to see more of that. But the action scenes were, which I don't know how much Chad Stahelski was part of this one or not. But he's the one that he's the one that makes those John Wick movies so good.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
I mean, so I think I really liked, and it's funny because it's like a kind of a trick, but the one where like they start with her taking the picture of the guy she was sent to kill, and then she walks out, and so it's like you just see the damage that she did, but you don't get to, and she's just pulling knives out of people to like take with her, and everyone's dead. Like I was like, oh, that's a kind of a cool, but then but it's also like kind of a cop out, right? Until like she gets in the car, and even you're like, oh, she crashed into the car into a guy, like he's stuck in the against the wall, and she kind of backs out, and she's going down the street, but then she gets smashed into, and it's all in one take, and it's like, and then you see her like hanging out the side of the car, and it's like all and. Yeah, so like it turned out to be cooler than like I mean like I said, like the other thing, it was cool. I was just like, oh, that's a way to do it where you don't have to actually have the whole fight. But then it turned into like a different thing, and it was and then so I thought that was really cool.
Yeah. The flamethrower is obviously
yeah,
the big one.
The flamethrower is kind of wild.
That was sick. Just like with the John Wick movies, I mean, some of it's over the top where it's like this is not realistic, which is fine because like obviously the flamethrower thing, it's like I don't think that's how that would work with the water in it, but
yeah.
It doesn't matter. It's like it's just sick.
Yeah, I don't think you'd be able to survive shooting flame because they both her and the guy survived longer than they should have. Yeah. And but I mean the same thing as like shooting bullets at close range and bouncing off your jacket.
Yeah, so right. Which is like explained away with like what they put in his suit. But yeah, same with John Wick, especially like
there's some disbelief. Disbelief. Yeah,
he's almost like at that point he's just like a superhero because it's like how much he gets hurt. Mm-hmm. It's like this is not realistic.
Yeah,
and he's like fine, but yeah.
But and then like so for the third act, he does show up in this, and he's like fighting, and then these like guys start fighting him, and they're like, "Why are we doing this? Mm-hmm. It's John Wick." We're just, like it was like, "Why are we fighting? Like what? This is not worth. It's like waste of time."
Yep. I do think it was good in the beginning when you see him for the first time to kind of give continuity to where this takes place in the
which is like
in the movies
between 3 and 4 or around 3.
I thought it was 2. I need to watch them again. It's either 2 or 3. Is when you see the whole ballerina thing in the John Wick movies, like when that's introduced. It's either 2 or 3.
I think it's 3.
Is it 3? Okay,
I think so. So it's like kind of around that time.
Yeah.
Well, also the other one that I thought was sick and some really cool stuff was like using hand grenades at close range.
Yeah, it was awesome.
That was insane.
Yeah.
And then the shot was done in one take where she blocks one with the door behind the door, and then she opens the door, and then there's a hole.
Yeah.
Which like you're like, yeah. So and then she goes through it, and that was cool.
That was awesome. Yeah.
And then then just like in the snow, always love there's like some of the classic James Bond things are like in snow, and it's just, I don't know. There's something about like when she's in the mountain chalet area, and there's some crazy stuff all over the place there. And
I agree. It's just it's cool like scenery for that kind of thing. Yeah, it always looks cool.
The one thing I thought,
well, you can have cool outfits too in that. That's why.
Yeah. The one thing I thought though was I didn't say this is not a disappointment because all the action was cool regardless, but I was expecting them to play off the fact that she was a ballerina a little more.
Yeah.
And it didn't. It seemed like to incorporate that a little more in her fighting style or something.
That's true. She didn't do that,
but it didn't really pan out as much as I. Meaning that, I mean, I get it. There was also like the little toy that kind of led her to find her dad's killer. But, like, anyway.
Also, the other part of the movie that's like, this doesn't matter. And it's not why you go see the movie anyway. But the stuff with her sister, especially the end, it's like this.
Oh, yeah.
There was no emotion to this at all. Like, this didn't matter.
Short-lived.
It was, I was like, okay,
didn't matter if she was. No.
And they tried to do it, but it's like, I don't feel anything for this. No. So
if we had more moments, and actually that would have been a better thing probably to use the younger versions, more moments of like, them as kids together. And then so when she finally met her, like, that she had a sister that meant a lot to her that she hadn't seen in 15 years or something. That would probably be a better use of the younger versions than and then just saying, someone killed her father. You don't need to see it. Mm-hmm. But anyway, I enjoyed it. If you like that, if you like the John Wick movies, you're gonna like this, I think. And
you'll still like
see
it. I do want to revisit all the John Wick movies. Do we know what they're doing next?
I don't.
In this world,
I don't. They obviously set this up that they could do a sequel to this.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I don't think that would be the next thing. So
no. But also, I have not seen anything about a John Wick 5.
Also, what's his name from The Walking Dead? was in this too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
There was someone else in this I recognized too. But yeah, he was the main one. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't remember his name.
Norman Reedus. There we go. Because he's about to be in Death Stranding 2, which is a video game that it's coming out very soon. Hideo Kojima game. Looks awesome.
Cool.
Were you ever a Metal Gear person?
I played
I think that
like the
because that's him.
first
I
one.
was wondering if you were a fan of Hideo Kojima, because he's the one that made Metal Gear Solid and all those.
I played the first one some. I couldn't get past like the control. Like there's something about it, like the controls or something. But that was like the first one was like on what, PlayStation 2 or something?
PS1.
PS1.
Yeah.
So
the first Metal Gear Solid, they did like some NES ones way back, but yeah. Yeah. Anyway, but
the idea of it, I think, like, so if the controls are probably a little better.
I figured it's the kind of thing I thought. Yeah, I figured you'd be into. Our other brother too. I figured he would like it too, but also just the whole tactical stealth thing. That's what it's based around. I figured you'd like that.
Yeah, well, I mean that's what when we play was it the not Shogun, but like the
Ghost of Tsushima.
Oh
yeah,
like, that's the way I like to play. That's the way I like to play
awesome.
that too. Like the one I played, it was like just as like the stealth mode basically the whole time.
Yep.
Don't even like to.
No, you want to do it all.
Yeah.
Remaining anonymous or hidden. Yeah.
Yep. So I think it's the same idea.
Oh yeah.
All right. Well, that was a light week for what we've been watching.
Yeah, I'm sure there's more stuff coming out, so we'll see next week. I don't know what's coming up next, but besides the bear, I know that's the next thing we're gonna get into shortly. But yeah. All right.
It's time for Based or Waste.
Welcome back, everyone, to Based or Waste, the game show where we check what's trending on Rotten Tomatoes, either film or TV shows. And I picked 10 of them, and Josh is going to guess if they're good or bad, if they're based or waste. And we go off of the audience score. And play along at home too. And let us know if you're better with TVs or movies. Today we are back to TV. Yes, TV. Okay. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right. This first one, I wonder if you watched this yet, because I mentioned it briefly. Department Q.
Still haven't checked it out.
Okay.
I'm going to say based.
Yes, 93. By the way, this is like, after I started watching this, I immediately got our dad into it, because this is like right up his alley. Like, dad is so much about, besides sci-fi, British detective stuff is like his number one thing. He loves British detective stuff.
He does, yeah.
So, and I haven't asked him about it, but I think he already watched a lot of it, so I think he likes it. All right. This next one is Fubar. This is for all seasons, which I think there's 2, because I think the new season just came out. This is the Arnold Schwarzenegger. I never watched it. His show or something with him in it, right?
Yeah, with like his something with the daughter.
Oh, with the daughter. Okay.
With a daughter, yeah. Like, yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna say based.
Yeah, 68.
Yeah.
All right. Next one is And Just Like That, all seasons, which is like 3 seasons of this already too, which is
It's crazy.
the new Sex and the City thing.
Yeah. Again, I'm gonna say based.
Are they all in this? I don't know. Is it still all the same girls?
I have no idea.
No, this is a waste.
Oh.
Yeah.
And they're still making it.
Yeah, I'm assuming there's a new season. That's why this is trending.
Yeah, I think there is.
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, this is at a 30
Oof.
for all seasons. Yeah. So.
Yet they're making 3 seasons.
Yeah.
Well, somebody's watching it if they're making them.
Yeah. I'm sure plenty of people still like it. All right. Stick is the next one. Season 1.
This got to be at least high enough to be based. Yeah.
Yes. 73.
Yeah.
Yeah, I need to watch more of it.
Yeah. I'm caught up.
Are you?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Still good?
I think it's good. Yeah.
Nice. Okay. This next one I actually revisited because I didn't like it when I first checked it out. Tires.
Mm.
This is season 1 and 2 because I guess season 2 just came out.
I think so.
Yeah. I like it now. I did not like it for
I didn't like it the first time. I haven't revisited.
I like it now.
But
somewhat.
Again, I'm going to say based.
Yes. This is very high, 91.
Yeah, I've heard other people talk about how much they like it. And I'm like, hey, really?
Maybe the second season's even better. I don't know.
Maybe.
Okay. This is funny because I didn't know this was going to be on your list, but I guess I thought you would know what it is. Jenny in Georgia.
Well, you thought it was a spinoff for Big Bang Theory.
Yeah, I did, but I guess because either way, I was like, this is a Josh show, so I was like, I'm going to pick this. Yeah, this is for all seasons. Which there's how many? 3?
3. The third one.
Just came out. You talked about. Okay.
I'm going to say based.
Yeah, 78.
Yeah.
Okay. The Better Sister. We talked about this last week.
Mm-hmm.
Season 1. Did you watch more of this?
Yeah, I think I only have one episode left.
Nice.
This is why I didn't have anything new to talk about because just
finishing stuff that
watching more stuff of the things we. I'm gonna say based.
Yes, 78.
Yeah.
Also, a reminder, like I do this like normally the day before or whatever when we record. So by the time even you watch this and this is posted, these scores could change. I mean, all this stuff trending fluctuates a lot. So this is just in the moment.
Oh, sometimes that fluctuates.
Sometimes it doesn't too much, but something new, especially that just comes out.
Yeah,
that's when it changes a lot.
Yeah.
All right, we have 3 more.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Rick and Morty, all seasons, which is a lot of seasons.
Yeah, it's got to be based at that point. I like that video.
Yeah, 84. Yeah. Although I stopped because I loved Rick and Morty, especially the first couple seasons were so good. Mm-hmm. I stopped watching it because I believe some of the main voice talent is not on anymore. So I'm like, well, that sucks. All right, yeah, that's an 84. All right, this one, I'm wondering if you know what this is, because I'm aware of it, because I've watched it. And there's a new season that just came out, Resident Alien. Do you know what this is?
No.
Okay. This is Alan Tudyk. It's on the Sci-Fi Channel, which is why probably not as many people watch it, but I think it goes to Hulu then, or Peacock. One of them that makes it easier to watch. And he's... I don't know. It's just a funny show.
It's comedy.
Yeah. He's like, he's pretending to be a human on Earth and in like a very, very small, like middle of nowhere town. But this is for all seasons. 4th season just started.
I'm gonna say based.
Yeah, 86. So people like this too. I'm really behind on it though. I just watched it when it first came out. All right, then the last one. The 4 seasons. I don't know if we did this one on Based or Waste or not, but
I don't remember. I know I talked about it because I watched it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say based.
No.
Ooh.
This is on the line. Well, okay, so this is interesting because we normally not sure. Like it's in the 50 range somewhere where it changes from Based to Waste. This is at a 58, but it had the trash icon.
Yeah,
I don't know. So it is a waste right now.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. But it's like...
But there's been stuff that's like 56 and it's like, it's not.
Right. So I don't know. Write in, let us know. Feedback at screentimepod.com. If you know what the heck. How do they do that in Rotten Tomatoes?
Yes.
How they do their scores, I don't know. But yeah.
Well, 8 out of 10.
Did you... Yeah. Still not bad. Did you like it? I barely watched the 4th season. I haven't checked all the.
That was all right. I would have
A little bit higher than this.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's almost a 6. Like,
Yeah.
I'd probably give it like somewhere between a 6 and a 7.
Okay.
Like 6.5.
It sucks because I was hoping to be better since the cast.
Yeah, the cast is great.
Yeah.
But it had some good moments in there, but also some of it was like a little like, eh.
Mm. All right. Well, good job, Josh. Still did. I think you're averaging around a 7 or 8 these past few weeks, right? I think 8.
Yeah, because it didn't. I mean, I got a couple 9s like recently too. I think.
Yeah, you did. Yeah.
So.
But when was the last perfect?
I don't think it was that long ago.
I don't know. I don't remember.
I don't remember either.
Yeah. No, yeah, you did get a perfect some time fairly recent. But all right. Thank you for everyone else playing if you did. And that has been Base or Waste. Tune in next week.
Okay. So let's get into Andor, season 2, episode 7. We'll start. So I'm gonna I know last 2 we kind of grouped the storylines, but now the storylines are pretty well converged, so I'm just kind of gonna go more based on each episode because the stories are yeah. So episode 7 is called Messenger.
Mm-hmm.
And again we jump another year, and then it's like 2 years before A New Hope is like the BBY 2 that pops up in there.
Yeah, because it stands for Before Battle of Yavin, right?
Yep.
That's the
Yep. So we get they're on.
Are you just saying just 7 for now? You're not saying the synopsis and names of 8 and 9 until we get to it? I mean, that's fine. I just want
to. Yeah. No, I didn't.
Okay.
I didn't pull the synopsis this time, but
okay.
The So we open with Cassian and Bix are on the where the new rebel base is.
Yes, I have that. Yeah, it's the Yavin Rebel base.
Yeah.
I have a note about this immediately because especially with the ships flying in to the base, I was like, okay, this feels very Star Wars now.
Yeah. Well, it's like very like.
Yeah. Well, also where they are, just that set like looks so cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yavin 4, which is like what is that in New Hope that they're there? It's been a while since I watched the movies, or is it later? Because they definitely show that.
They show it in Rogue One also, because you see, or they show that base because I like, especially in these batch of episodes, like I noticed like that background. I'm like, oh yeah, I remember their scenes, even though it's been a little bit, and I'm gonna watch Rogue One again, but I remember seeing that background in it before. But yeah, in context of A New Hope, I don't know.
It's one of the original 3. They show that same spot.
Yeah.
Just which one was it?
Yeah.
And then because then you have the scene. It's got to be because then you see because you also have that's where Mom Martha's first scene, right? She's given a dressing like everyone there.
Oh yeah. Oh, in the original, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But we also they're there, and Cassian's having a problem with a blaster wound that's not healing, and we get this interesting interaction with Bix getting him to go into town, so to speak, and then he's approached by a Force healer.
Yeah, this scene was awesome because this is another thing we don't see in Star Wars, and it's just cool to see in the Star Wars universe in general. We don't really know much about Force healers, and we don't really get to see that, so it is really cool. I mean, in the sequels, we see Rey do a Force healing, which was kind of dumb, the way they did it in that, but this is awesome. I thought this was really interesting. And I also love that she's the one that referred to him as a messenger.
Okay.
Gives him the title, right?
Yes. So do you think, What do you think of this from a overall story? Not just because I agree with you. Like it's a cool thing to see in the episode, but from an overall story standpoint, how do you feel about one bringing the Force into Andor, where we really haven't messed with that at all, and this series it's very grounded, and then to throw in, I mean, it's something part of Star Wars, yeah, but like we've kind of steered away from any of the
in the show. Yeah,
the show.
I think it makes sense because that's still present in Rogue One, and we're getting close to that. Especially with, again, I haven't watched the movie in a while, but I love the character that's blind, and he just repeats, "I'm one with the Force is one with me," or whatever he says. Like I love that. So, and that's he looks at the Force in a more mystical way, like some people do in Star Wars world, and some other people don't. Just like in real life where it's like there's believers and unbelievers. I mean, even Han Solo in the original, like, at first he's just like, oh, it's a bunch of mumbo jumbo. And then he eventually believes because he sees it. But
Yeah.
So I think it makes sense bringing it in finally here, just because we're very close to Rogue One and then A New Hope.
Okay. Yeah. So, and then we kind of see that the rebel base is there, like we kind of already talked about, but they've kind of consolidated this to one place, which is, it's kind of cool to be like, oh yeah, at some point they had to start doing this, and it wasn't such a like a hodgepodge of random rebels all over the place.
Yep.
Like starting to coordinate and become like a real actual army. And then we hear a little bit about the Gorman. They're starting to build the barricades and the Imperial building, and so then Luthen sends Cassian as a journalist there to but then his goal is to assassinate Dedra Meero on Gorham, because he learns that she is there and out in the open in the public.
I the other thing I wanted to mention, obviously the reason why the ISB are here at Gorman to get this specific material, but like I think it's just such a cool part of this show is how much they reiterate, even in these episodes, the Empire reiterate how much they need this very specific material, and it's nowhere else. And it's like, oh, this is what has to be done to Gorman, which again, when we get a little bit in, we see as a result of that what happens. But I just think it's so cool that it's like, I mean, it's not good what they did, but it's like, it's the Empire. It makes sense. Like they're going to do no matter what. And they reiterate that. They're like, well, this is what needs to be done so we can have this. But it's crazy that all this is like, we wouldn't have anything in the original movies if it wasn't for this, because they wouldn't be able to complete the Death Star without,
Correct.
Like this is a very, which I love getting more into the details with that. What they need this for the Death Star.
Yeah, it's a cool just a exercise in thinking about, well, to build something at that size and scale, what are the resources you would need realistically?
Yeah,
it's
so
like,
much.
Yeah, and it's crazy. It's a crazy thing. And even the Star Destroyers, they're massive, and but I also think it's interesting because, like, the Gorman massacre is something that's always already been discussed a long time ago, like in Star Wars. So it's like one of those things where it's interesting also to build a story around this and kind of give more context to it.
Yes.
Didn't really know why before, just like an offhand comment, right? And then to like build this key reason that it happened and build.
What was it originally?
I don't remember.
Because I know. I'm
mentioned.
Gonna have to see. Or write a comment. Let us know. I mean, I'm going to definitely look it up because I know it. Because I remember when it first was brought up in the show, it wasn't like I mean, it was like, oh yeah, I know what this is.
Yep.
So.
No, I'm with you. Like, I just never looked it up, and let's see. I can look it up, but it's like, it's just a testament to even their writing and storytelling to be able to do that around something where the result.
Yeah. Well, that's a challenge, even to a bigger scale. That's a challenge anytime you're making anything that's a prequel.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's like, or with these characters, it's like, let's say even Cassian, it's like you see him in different situations and you're like, well, I know he's fine because he's in Rogue One. You know what I mean? It's like, that's always something you got to play
Right.
with when you're doing a
Yeah.
prequel.
So first time was it was in the source book for the Rebel Alliance tabletop game.
Wow.
That was it came out in
very specific.
1990. So that was when it
Okay.
was first technically mentioned. And then just looking to see. Yeah, I guess that's, I mean, that was later just added to like the lore, 1999. More details are written in the Star Wars history. Yeah.
So it wasn't even in like the cartoons, like the Clone Wars or
I don't
anything?
know. I feel like
I thought it was
I feel
a-
like I had some.
I thought it'd be in something like that,
Yeah,
at least.
I feel like because I'm with you. Like if it resonated as like a thing that I was like, oh yeah, that's something
Yeah.
we've heard about, and then, but I know I've never read that book.
No.
Or,
No, me either.
so, yeah. Anything else? I feel like episode 7. Not that it's bad, but it's definitely a lot of setup to get to 8 and 9, which 8 and 9
yeah.
are huge episodes. So, anything else on 7 that you want to talk about
No.
before you? All right, episode 8. Who are you?
Yeah.
So we are now at Gorman, and
How much of this episode is actually the massacre? Because it seemed like when I was watching, I was like, this is the whole episode. Like, it's very long.
yeah, it's a good bit of it.
Yeah.
I think. I mean, you get the
Oh, no, I guess you get him first, like, getting all in position, and then you
Yep.
see him, like, pointing the gun.
because the beginning of this
At Dedra.
episode's when you first introduce that other guy, that's kind of
Right.
with the like, and she's like, these guys are barely out of boot camp or whatever. Like
Mhm.
she's like, but yeah, you get the peaceful protests
Yep.
that are false, but they're just plants, and then the Empire obviously deliberately shoots their own trooper to justify open fire on civilians. And this is the kind of Cyril starts to realize the Empire's true genocidal intentions and struggles, and he confronts Deidre because he's like, what the heck? And
Yeah, that is a great scene when he
yeah.
confronts her.
And then we get this great fight scene between Cassie and Cyril. So it's funny though, like, because he's been
Well, that's
chasing.
after everything else is already going
It
down.
escalates, yeah. But then, most that's just like, stuff that
Yeah.
not nobody of our main characters are. It's just kind of
Yeah.
happening. And then, which is interesting because that's who he was looking for in season 1.
Mhm.
Cyril was looking for him, and everyone was like kind of disregarded. He was like found the picture of him and was like, who is this guy?
Yeah.
And then, so they have some pretty tense hand-to-hand combat. And then Cyril gets the upper hand on him. And that's when you get that, like, who are you?
Mm-hmm.
Because even though Cyril's known knows Cassian by
Yeah,
reputation, Cassian has no idea who this
No
guy
idea
is.
who this is.
And
Yeah.
has no idea that this guy's been kind of parallel to him in his journey,
Yeah.
all these seasons. And, so it's a great moment.
It
And
is.
then just because he asked him that and made him stall for a second, is enough time to then someone shoots Cyril from the side.
Yep.
And Cassian's saved again. But also crazy because up until this point, Cyril's been a main character, and then
Yeah. He has.
they,
The whole show. Yeah.
yeah, and we lose him here in episode 8. Then we also get as they're fleeing, You get the droids start, the KK droids, the KX droids start taking care of the people.
Yeah.
And we get this somebody rams one and takes him out that's about to get Cassian, and what's his dude? I forget the other guy that was with him.
I don't remember his name. Yeah.
So, that was pretty cool, because then you were like, oh, that's where he gets the parts.
Yeah, I do like that he stops for a second and then goes back and grabs the unit and takes it with him.
Yeah. So, so what do you think? Do you think this has been listed as like one of the highest rated episodes of the whole show?
Oh, okay.
Do you think this is the best episode?
No.
Okay. I don't.
I haven't seen the remaining 3.
Yeah.
But I think 9's better than 8.
I agree.
Okay.
That's interesting that we both see that. I think it was a great episode.
It still was. No, yeah, it still was
strong
really good.
episode, but like,
yeah. But I'm also partial to. I mentioned in last pod how much I love seeing the Senate stuff,
mm-hmm.
and
yeah.
So that's a lot of that.
Yeah.
In 9.
Do you think? I think Cyril's death was a nice twist and kind of sudden. Kind of reminds me of like Game of Thrones, losing somebody that you didn't expect.
It was sudden.
I think it's going to be interesting to see Dedru's a fallout from it.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah. And
I don't think it's necessarily a twist though, because it's like at this point we know there's even main characters we know that they're gonna have to start dying.
Yeah.
At this point, but it definitely was impactful though,
mm-hmm.
and quick. Yeah.
How do you feel about? This massacre compared to some of the other like Alderaan or Order 66 that are also in Star Wars?
Oh, compared to them, it's so different because we just see it on a different scale.
Mm-hmm.
Because like
we're on the ground with it.
Yeah, the other ones is just like the Death Star literally just
obliterates a whole planet.
A whole planet in like a second, and it's like it's still crazy, but it's like it's not. It doesn't give you the same impact because you're not there.
Yeah, though Order 66. You get some like,
that one. That's like you're right.
Killing children Jedi.
You're right. That one is
pretty brutal.
That's definitely up there as one of the best.
But also,
I think.
Yeah.
But that's such a pivotal moment in the whole Star Wars timeline, anyway.
Yeah.
So there's just so much to that. But again, now with this, which I love that they dedicate a whole episode to it,
mm-hmm.
because this is such a pivotal moment too in the Star Wars timeline now as well, because of what all transpires from this in the future.
Yeah.
Same with what we see in, I'm assuming the remaining of this show and Rogue One. I just love the context. That's the point of the show, and what we've talked about before is the context that this gives to the main trilogy is just like amazing.
Yeah, no, I agree. Like it gives so much more weight to it, which is like what good prequels and it should do. And for all the good and bad in the prequel movies, like I don't think they do that good a job of that. There's some of it in there. It definitely creates some more empathy for Vader, later.
Yeah, that's some of the strongest stuff in this prequels. Yeah, in this show they do also. What's good about it is because, and again, I don't know about for the final 3 episodes, but this show is not interested at all in fan service, because like they could easily, because they mention like Palpatine or something, but it's like if they wanted to, they could have had a scene where you see Palpatine or even Vader or like there's so much, but they don't.
Yeah, because
that's not what it's about. Yeah. And that's to your point about making a good prequel versus like just a fan service prequel.
Yeah. I also like the just the battle stuff. I know we kind of skipped over earlier because I was like, but it was like felt like a war, felt like a real,
Oh yeah.
like felt like World War II or something, like, stuff
Mm-hmm.
you've seen, war documentary, felt like that. And then I loved the when they start chanting the Gorham national anthem. That was emotionally resonated. It was like it felt again like a World War II or something.
Yeah, it was a cool moment.
Like so. Anything else on episode 8 that you want to talk about? All right, episode 9, which Welcome to the Rebellion.
Oh yeah.
This is the title.
Yep.
All right, so so we get this build up to, so we're on Coruscant, and then it's right after the Gorman massacre, and you start to see like the way the Empire's spinning it as like a terrorist attack and through propaganda, and of course, Mom Matha and what's the other Senator Organa.
Yes.
Are both like talking about like you can't just let this like, and then you see them take even the senator from Gorham like hostage, or take him like in cuffs with the stormtroopers.
Which, by the way, we haven't mentioned at all, which is, I mean, it's fine, but it's just like, it just took me a second to get used to, because it's a different actor.
Yeah.
Playing
Benjamin Bratt.
Oh, that's who it is.
It's the new guy.
Instead of the guy from the prequels. I forget the actor's name, but yeah.
Which was, he played him in the...
Oh, he wasn't in Obi-Wan.
He was in prequel, and he was in Obi-Wan.
Yeah,
yes.
that's right. He wasn't in,
young Leia in those scenes.
That's right. Yeah. That's where we saw him again.
Yeah. But yeah, he wasn't in in Andor, and of course we didn't see him in season 1, did we?
No, I don't remember him in season 1.
But anyway, yeah, he. But I think it works. He does a good job.
Yeah, it's not an issue. It's just like, I mean, they have to do what they have to do. I guess they couldn't get that actor, or didn't want to. I don't know.
Probably just conflict and scheduling or something. But yeah, they so they're talking about what they're gonna do, and she's like, "Well, we need to give a speech and then get out of here." And I think it was kind of interesting where he's like, "No, someone needs to stay at a stall. We're not ready." He's like, "So I'll set you up. You get it." And so then she's practicing speech, and then she of course finds out a lot of. She's like told by Luthen to like no, don't go with Senator Organa's people because they've been compromised. And then she's like, and then your like right hand man has been a spy of mine for the last couple of years, and you didn't know it. But then they find out that her office is bugged anyway.
Mm-hmm. Also, I love them doing the whole I have friends everywhere thing again. Yeah, for this was so good.
Yeah. So I think what I liked about this one, like I do like the Senate stuff and the like politicalness of things, and just kind of like how
it's just such a cool room too, like the visual of it.
Yeah. But also I think again, this kind of reminds me of not as awesome, but like the last episode of Severance season 1, but there's like the constant tension building of the security, and like if they first find that the bug is not working, and it's like all these things that keep thinking you're like, oh, they're going to figure it out.
Yeah.
And yet they don't, just by a hair. The Rebel / Cassian, like they're just one step barely ahead, just barely ahead. And it's done, that balance is so well done this whole episode. That is one of the reasons I think it's such a masterpiece in like storytelling and tension building, because it's like you don't know what's going to exactly happen, even though we both know. And again, testament to the writing and all that, and the everything, the craft in this. We know both of these people are alive later, because Mom Martha's part of the rebellion. Cassian doesn't die until Rogue One. So we're like, they make it out of here, but yet while you're watching you're so into it and so on the edge of like what's going to happen.
That's one of the best things you can do as a prequel. You're right, is to still be that impactful, even though with people that you're like, oh, we already know what happens to these people. But yeah, for sure.
Anyway, so we get her speech, and she openly calls Emperor Palpatine a lying executioner, and condemns the genocide. And that's like, I mean, that
line was awesome.
Yeah, it was so emotional and so great, delivered so well.
By the way, I just thought about this because you were talking about that. Like, I think one of the best examples, also besides this show, of a prequel where it's like just the amount of tension, or just in general, like the drama in it, that it's just like you're so invested and you're so worried for this character, is Better Call Saul.
Oh yeah,
is another one where it's just like it's incredible what they do in that show, and you're like,
but he's in Breaking Bad.
Yes. It's just like it's just that's one of the best examples. Also,
that's you're right, 100%. So of course she gives the speech. Cassian's there to kind of start escorting her, and they're working their way out. And again, this was great, and kind of, I don't know, it's one of those things that like it felt like, again, didn't feel cliche, even though how many times have we seen the kind of that setup where someone's trying to get someone else out, and it still felt fresh and interesting.
Yeah.
And then the declaration of the speech and then and then her escape to Coruscant as she becomes, and they go to the hideout where Cassian obviously has been there, and of course it's like looks very different than we saw it in previous like year past, because it's been sitting empty for like a year. It looks like, so that's always, it's just interesting to see that stuff. And then the other person that, like, Luthen's another person that we know nothing about him, so like he could die, and like I was wondering what was going to happen to him, and I still think that's a very strong possibility in the last 3 episodes, if that he just
he is a character that
gets found out and caught,
is in nothing else Star Wars so far. So I don't know.
And then so he gets back to the Yavin 5 or whatever. 4, Yavin 4.
I don't know the number. I just know it's the Yavin base.
Yeah. And Bix is there, and he's like, I'm out, I'm done. And she's like, well, here, let me give you some tea so you sleep well tonight. And and so this was also, and I was wondering, and I sat so with this, and maybe see if you agree or not, but as this was happening, and she leaves him, and leaves him the note, the video note, I was like, oh man, like this is this is a deeper wound than even if she had died.
Yeah.
Like if she died, it's like, Avenger, but like this is like, you can't choose between me and the rebellion needs you, so I'm making the choice for you. And like, that's crushing.
Yeah. It's such a, this is my final note, is this, like, her video message is so beautiful, and just a beautiful ending to the episode. But it's even deeper and worse, because she says something about how she's like, we can still be together, or basically meet up
when this is all over.
Afterwards, and you're like, that's never gonna happen. This is just like, it's brutal.
Yeah.
Also, it sucks just because I like this character so much, so I don't know if like this really is the last bit for her. Like, I don't know if she's in the final 3 at all. If we see where she goes,
there might be a side story where she's doing a different mission. Yeah, but then also this might not.
This might be it.
I think emotionally, impactfully, I'm gonna wager they don't bring her back.
I think this might be it. Yeah,
I think we're gonna be solely focused on Cassian. These last, like, as even these episodes were pretty, like I said, they didn't, like before, we've had all these storylines, everything kind of converged, and it's very like more Cassian specific. And it's just kind of getting there. Of course, then we get the end shot with the K2SO introduction,
Yeah, this is awesome.
which is awesome. And also like, then I'm like, oh, so he's got a new person to bond with because he's got a broken heart right now, and he needs that friend. So I thought that was cool.
Yeah, even the line, which I was thought about using as my quote, but the line of what K2SO says when he finally
Can you
opens
not
up.
point that at me or something?
Yeah, he's like, I'm sorry if I offended you, and then or something like,
yeah.
that's so good. Yeah, because he says something like that in Rogue One as well. But yeah, so good. Speaking of Alan Tudyk, he's the one that does the voice of K2SO. So I'm assuming, in Rogue One, so I'm assuming he does it in this as well.
Yeah, that's true.
Actually, I think I saw it behind the scenes. Like he does the mocap even. Like I think it's not just the voice. I think it's the mocap for it.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Well,
because I saw it behind the scenes. He's wearing the whole
the mocap
suit. So I think that's what. Yeah.
Well, yeah, like I said, and I think we both agree that was a really strong episode. That episode 9.
Yeah, I think. These have just gotten better as they've gone. So like, I'm assuming these final 3 are going to be the best.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it's good. Well, it's like we're starting to lose some of the. I don't know. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see where because I'm also curious where they end.
I know
how
how close is it going to be to the beginning of Rogue One?
Yeah, and pick up there. Because
they got very close to the beginning of A New Hope.
That's what I was about to say. And so knowing the writers, I could see it just literally being like a beat before.
I would love that if they did that.
And it's like,
you just think of Rogue One as Andor season 3.
Yeah, pretty much.
That would be awesome if they do it that way.
Or these, especially season 2, it's like, oh, that's just Rogue One is just episode 13, 14, and 15.
Yeah.
Because each one of these have been, though it's like, if there's not a time jump like the rest of these, that it is more like, it's just more like, long extended version of
or you just call it Rogue One the finale of Andor.
Yeah.
The
2-hour finale.
Yeah. Yeah, because it's not even as long of a, I don't remember how long Rogue One is, but it's not 3 hours like these chunks of it. Because these are almost all an hour each, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So they're doing 3-hour movies essentially. Yeah. It's cool.
Yeah.
Either way, I'm excited for this.
Me too.
Final bit.
Yeah, this final bit.
And then spoiler alert, Rogue One will be on my list of what I've been watching because I have to watch that afterwards.
I think I might have to too.
Yeah. You're going to want to anyway. As soon as it's over, you're going to be like, oh, I got to watch Rogue One.
Yeah. And these are the 3 I had not, like when we decided to start covering this, I stopped watching.
Yeah.
So I had seen up through episode 8.
Oh, okay.
So this time around, episode 9 was the only thing that was fresh for me or new. But I rewatched all 3.
Yeah.
And then I have not seen these last 3 at all. So it'll be exciting to finally watch them.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think that's it for today.
Yeah.
This week's episode. Let us know your thoughts on Andor, and if you have any agreements, disagreements with us, or questions about anything, or just random crap you want to ask us.
Yeah.
Feel free to
let us know if you're a prequel person or not, because there's like a complete divide between people that love or hate the prequels.
Well, I think a lot has to do with age.
Yeah.
I think if you were a kid when those came out,
because I remember seeing Phantom Menace in the theater, and I was like, and I was young.
You were
and I
stoked.
Loved it. You're right. You're right. It is a generation thing.
Yeah, I think it's a lot. Whereas, like when I was a kid, I watched the original trilogy because by the time they were,
because you probably would have been old enough to at least see Return of the Jedi in theaters. Was that the one you got to see?
I don't know if I went. I know, so I was like 2 or something, and I was at The Empire Strikes Back when it came out.
Oh,
but it was only because our parents went to see it, and I was just a small infant child.
So you don't remember that?
So I don't remember seeing it there, but might have been the first movie I ever went to.
Yeah, that's a good first movie.
Yeah.
Great first movie.
So it was only a few years later, so I was probably still too young to really see it. But what I do remember is, by the time I was like, 8, sometime like watching them all the time on home video.
But then when Phantom Menace came out, my age versus your age,
I was
you
an
probably were
adult.
like, you were like, this sucks, and I was like, I loved it because of our ages.
Phantom Menace, I did not think it sucked.
Okay.
And we waited in line
Oh yeah,
to go see that.
yeah, it's a big deal.
And that trailer broke the internet.
Yeah, it did.
And I thought it was, the pod racing was cool. I thought, young Anakin was annoying. Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah. Whiny actor.
yeah, but Luke's annoying in A New Hope. He's
Yeah.
really whiny
Yes.
also.
This is true.
Yeah,
But like the pod racing was cool. Of course, Darth Maul and
Duel of the Fates makes up for all of it. That final.
and the music
Mhm.
that was like new stuff from John Williams that was just like epic.
Yeah.
So like all in all, I wasn't not down on it. It was one of those things where once you watched it a few times, and I think I even saw it probably more than once in theaters, and like kind of let it sit, and you're like, okay, and then it was kind of like, yeah, it's not bad, but like because then you start to be like the metachlorian stuff was weird, and why did they do that?
Oh yeah,
And that stuff, and you're just like, that was a bad idea.
yeah.
So like once you sat with it a little bit, but because it was such a I think it was whatever, like 15 years. I mean, basically my whole life,
Yeah,
my whole life that I remembered, it was like the original trilogy
No
existed,
Star Wars.
and there was never any new Star Wars after that.
Yep.
So the fact that there was even new Star Wars was like,
Yeah, that was why it was such a big deal.
Yeah.
Because it's like
and
Star Wars
like,
fans were just starving.
so you almost, you were starving so much that, everything tastes good. So
Yeah,
it wasn't
that's
until
true.
like you like got full and then you're watching it,
Yeah,
probably basically once it came out on DVD and I watched it, then started to like really set in and like, oh, okay. I mean, it's still fun, but like,
yeah,
there's some stuff in here that doesn't work. And you're like, and then the Jar Jar Binks stuff and all that stuff. And
yeah. It was rough.
yeah, there's some stuff that's like, eh. And then, and then the second movie was so bad that it just
I stand by Revenge of the Sith, though. I think is a very, very good movie and the best of the prequels.
yeah.
Maybe you should revisit it, see if he's probably been a while.
It's been a little bit, but not I've watched. I mean, because from time to time, it's been a few years, but we'll sit and watch them through with the kids
Sure,
and
yeah.
stuff. Yeah, but yeah. Anyway,
No, I think you're dead on. It's a generational thing. I think it's like what
the question is there anyone going to grow up with the
and think that the sequels are the best?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's I don't know.
I mean, the internet's going to hate me, but after watching it, but I would say at least the Last Jedi, I would say it's probably better than the some of the sequels.
Than some of the prequels?
Yeah, the prequels. Yeah,
Oh, come on. Yeah, you are going to get some hate for that. Ooh, I don't know. I disagree.
yeah.
Yeah, that is a hot take.
I don't know. It's been a while since I watched the Last Jedi, but
Yeah.
I need to rewatch some of those. I mean, the last one though was so bad, so bad.
Yeah, but the decisions that were made in The Last Jedi were awful. The way it looked was amazing.
The decisions that were made were awful.
Yes.
No, I don't.
With Luke especially. But that's
Yeah, there's some stuff with Luke that was a little weird, but
made no sense.
otherwise, there's
There was there's still good stuff in that movie, but
still that on the red desert planet kind of fight battle is like very iconic.
oh, at the end. Yeah, that looks sick. Yeah.
It's like as iconic as the snow battle in Empire. Like it just has like this visual.
Oh yeah,
that
it looks
sticks with
awesome.
you.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah.
so if you'd like to send us any
That's gonna
thoughts
be
or feedback,
That's gonna be a clip especially. See,
yeah, you're gonna clip that out.
Yeah,
and
that
give
one
us- give us
especially
some
get
fun-
Josh's
give us-
hot.
Yeah.
I'll take.
You can email us at feedback@screentimepod.com or leave us a comment or DM on the social media platforms of your choice. You can pretty much find us anywhere, some form of Screen Time Pod on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts. And if you'd like to follow either one of us individually or on our personal accounts, I'm at JYoungBar Instagram.
And I'm at Jared Youngbar.
All right. We will talk more Star Wars with you next week.